time to think about what it is that I do, who I do it for, how I do it. And my company was called Kinetic Marketing Systems before I worked with my other employer and before I got fired. And now I'm thinking that my business is actually Kinetic Management Systems. And the reason for that is because the clients that I want to work with have an outsized risk for failure. As in 80% of the people that I want to work for will be out of business. Now, they don't typically have marketing problems, or at least they don't perceive them as being marketing problems. So I have to solve the bigger problems that create this asymmetric downside risk for them, which is creating a relationship between the quality of their staff and their recruiting and their operations management, and helping them with a business asset that helps them drive consistent revenue without having to be there managing every step of the process all the time. So being a process architect, if you want to call it that, or a systems automation guy, or whatever. I've been really obsessed with this concept, and I literally couldn't sleep last night because I was thinking about this, and I started building it yesterday about how to create this organic system for that helps businesses on autopilot, basically, and how to scale that. So I'm not going to lie to you. I want to be wealthy. I'm ambitious. I'm 43 years old. I have about half of my life left, and that's my lifespan, not my health span. So my intervention in my health span is that I stopped drinking alcohol, stopped drinking. I stopped eating carbs, sugar, starch, that kind of stuff. And so my energy, my clarity is through the roof, and it's highly recommended. So this is commonly understood as the Whole30 or the ketogenic diet, but I'm just kind of doing it. And for the last, in the last 3 weeks, I've lost like 15 pounds, and that's good weight. And so this is giving me this clarity and just this level of excitement about delivering something that's altogether different than I've ever even considered and thought that I would be capable of delivering. But as I see myself building it out, and I see myself creating these systems, and I'm wondering if this could be the thing that really changes things. Now, most entrepreneurs you ever meet are always going to be like, "Oh my God, we're changing the world," blah 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 blah. But what I'm doing right now is simply applying a marketing framework to an internal process that allows effective and efficient recruiting, retention, and onboarding training, and if need be, offboarding, to protect a business's legal elements. Although, obviously I'm not going to be their lawyer, I'm not going to be their HR rep, but I'm going to give them all the systems that they need to nudge their management to create a happy staff that is engaged, that knows the product, that knows how to work with people, and knows what the expectations are, and delivers a clear path to matriculation, like a clear path to being in a leadership position at that place. And the net result of that will be a staff that stays for at least 2 years. Because a little known cost that people don't think about, it's like this ghost hidden cost that never shows up in a P&L, is the cost of training, of finding and training a new employee, which could, the national average is around $5,000, but it's actually kind of closer to $15,000 or $20,000 depending on the size of the restaurant. Most of the time, the impact is much higher, and then what ends up happening is that an owner or a partner in a business will end up actually having to work shifts from time to time in smaller places. So I'm looking to build a product that is going to be the gold standard in culture development in bars and restaurants, and also has a marketing piece so that we are generating organic inbound leads for customers, for suppliers, for staff, and then nurturing all three of those buckets of relationships, and then teaching people how to be engaged with the business in a meaningful way. And with those partnerships, with those three levels of partnerships, then a business will have a lot more support and structure, and they won't be operating in the blind. So for me, this is very exciting. and I'm very excited about it. But the problem for me right now, the biggest problem that I have right now is that I've operated in multiple worlds for the last 20 years. So I've been a supplier, I've been a wholesaler, I've been a bar owner, I've been a bartender. I was a bartender for the longest. I was a consultant for a long time. In fact, I was a consultant until a couple days ago. And so like I understand all these worlds, and for some reason I'm not sure what's happened. Maybe it has something to do with YouTube. Maybe it has something to do with just telling people that I know. But I have not done any particular outreach with the systems that I'm building to engage particular clients. But people are coming out and saying, "Hey, Jason, I want to work with you." So right now I kind of have to decide what lane I want to go in, because as they say, the hunter who chases two rabbits catches neither. So am I a bar consultant? Am I a brand builder? Am I a marketing systems provider? Am I a management consultant? What am I? Who am I? And so I'm kind of trying to take some time and taking pause to inventory the things that I love to do, that I want to do, that I think the world needs. And ultimately, I want to create an asset for myself as well, a passive asset. So something that does not require an enormous amount of maintenance, but but provides a ridiculous upside value for any investment that you make with me. And so I'm kind of like working through the numbers and like working through like how complicated can the system be before for onboarding, like how much training is required to get people up to speed on it, and how much am I going to charge for that. And that number, and how how long are people going to use the system? But the prevailing logic is if you give me $1 and if I give you $10 back in value, you're gonna try to give me as much money as you possibly can, because you know you're gonna get more money back. And so that is the equation that's going through my mind right now, and that is what I have to kind of map out and put numbers together. But I have these ridiculous systems that people just don't know that they don't know, and they don't know what is possible. But I've been that bar owner who's had his head in his hands wondering like, what is wrong? Why isn't this working? And then I go back and I inventory my time and my thinking and my thought process on what happened when I was running the bar. And it's like I was spending my time doing a lot of things that could and should have been either automated or processed or systematized. And because I was inexperienced, I didn't know that there were things available to me, and I should have just bought something to solve these problems so I could go solve problems that only I could solve. For instance, the creative direction for my bar and restaurants, motivation for my staff, incentivization for my guests to come in and come and do stuff. So that's where my head is at today. I'm just super excited about it. I've got about I got my post-it notes up there. I have 5 more weeks of severance left. And so I have between now and then to deliver on this promise and get people excited about it. So I'm looking forward to sharing this with you if you would like to reach out to me. So put a comment wherever you're seeing this, or you can call me at 917-983-2150. That's 917-983-2150. And you'll actually see how I automatically receive phone calls and then give you options and choices on how you would like to engage. And so that's exactly the system that I'm going to be building for bars and restaurants. It's called an IVR, or interactive voice response. And every time we get an inbound phone call, it says press 1 for events, press 1 for customer service, press 3 for catering, press 4 if you want to join our team, press 5 if you're a supplier, right? So at 5, if you're like, this is a fun part. So if you're a supplier and you're working with a bar that's on my system, you walk in, you do a cold knock, you want to develop a relationship. And so what happens is you'll press 5 and say, I'm a supplier, I'd like to work with you. And so the system says, great, we just sent you a text message with a link to our supplier's landing page. And and it says, here's a quick form for you to fill out, here's a quick survey. And then it articulates exactly what the business likes to buy and how they like to buy. And so you fill out a quick survey, which gives the account your name, phone number, and email address. And it allows you the opportunity to upsell, to put in your product sheets and your tech sheets and stuff like that. It's all very civilized. And then it will email the manager or the owner or whoever it is and say, would you like to meet with this person? And then you just click yes or no on the email. You don't have to log into anything. You click yes or no on the email, and then it'll automatically email the person and text the person, the supplier, and say, great, here's a link to my calendar. We take appointments on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 6. Here's a link. Please make an appointment. Don't just show up, or go ahead and show up, whatever you want to do. But please make an appointment. And then the system will nurture both parties into the appointment, saying, you've just been booked for this appointment. Your appointment is confirmed with this person at this time to discuss this. And it'll put a calendar invite in your calendar, and it'll send you an email a day before saying, you have this appointment with this person tomorrow. Would you like to cancel or reschedule? And then it's all automated. And then an hour before, it's like, you have a meeting with this person in an hour. That way both parties show up. That way the rep doesn't have to show up, doesn't have to show up to a place that nobody expects them. And it's all very civilized. This is what everybody should be doing. But your dossier is sorted out, your buyer dossier is sorted out, and your scheduling is sorted out, so you don't have to think about it. So one of the things that really bothered me when I was hustling in the restaurant was that people would come in and just try to sequester my time and my attention all the time. And we're good at humans are good at multiple tasks, but multitasking is not one of them. So there's a bit of fatigue that comes with switching tasks, and also it prevents us from ever getting into any kind of flow state and actually accomplishing anything, which prevents us from having the feeling of accomplishment at the end of the day. So I'm not saying that suppliers shouldn't cold knock. They should, especially when I mean, that's just how brands are sold, and brands are one of those things that you sell to make money. So accounts should be receptive to that. But anyway, so this is the system that I'm building, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Like, is it something that the world needs? Because I'm just thinking, from my individual experience, is this something that the world needs? So that's all I got for you today. I'll see you next time.